I've been excited to dive into this, man, ever since I did the last documentary, which you guys thought was dope. I just needed the amount of time to be able to freaking do it. What is going on, y'all? It's fucking dope to see you guys, man, and I really hope you're doing good and staying safe and just being happy, baby. For real. Knock the wind out of my damn chest. But, man, after the last documentary I watched about grime, I thought it was freaking amazing, man. And also the response that you guys showed to it, that was fucking incredible, man. I didn't expect that many people to watch it, as it was kind of a long video. Which, before we dive into this, I'm going to break this up into two parts, but it's coming out in the same day. I'm going to release them at the same time. So I figured with this one being 53 minutes, I might need a little bit of a break halfway through, because it is a tad long. But this one is on Flirta D, the guy who makes noises. Now, y'all know me. I make a lot of fucking noises. That's one thing I always do. I think it's just part of being an only child and being alone all the time. You fucking make noises and talk to yourself like a fucking all the time. It's ridiculous. But people like Jaffro and shit like that, who I know he doesn't really make noises in his music, but he uses the inflection in his voice. And I just watched General Levy, was that his name, yesterday? That dude was fucking insane, man. I don't even know what he was doing, but that shit was impressive as hell. So, everybody can make, not everybody, my bad. Not everybody can make noises, so I'm excited just to fucking see what the hell this is gonna be, man. The guy who makes noises! I'm fucking pumped. So, with no further ado, man, let's dive into this documentary, shall we? First half is gonna be the first half an hour, the second half will be the last 23 minutes. Let's go, baby.
When I first got into grime music, I remember having this fascination with the early years of the genre. I'd go on massive trawls through all the old bits of shaky footage from raves, clashes and cyphers, looking for MCs I recognised from the tracks I was listening to. Grime was a genre with a dedicated community of people around it like Risky Roads, who loved to document everything that was going on around them.
That's him! Cool, man. You guys were telling me about this dude. I didn't see a picture of him, but fuck. Nice to meet you.
So you can piece together all these bits of footage from the mid-2000s and get an oddly down-to-earth look into the day-to-day lives of the MCs.
Alright, I'm driving one of these to Bedford, man.
Was that Bizzle right there? Lethal Bizzle? Nah, I'm probably wrong. I don't know.
Ain't we?
You have to have a license.
No, who is that? Man, he looked familiar.
You have to have a license.
Not for them and them get revoked.
Not one of them.
Oh, is that Wiley? Yeah.
Not for them not a license, you know.
Nah, we've been revoked.
I was looking through all these old
That's Wiley without the scar, isn't it? Dude, I didn't even recognize him. That's crazy.
clips, and I remember landing on one in particular which really stuck with me. It was from an Eskimo dance that happened in 2003. The sound quality, like most of the videos taken at this time, was pretty terrible, and I couldn't really make out what was going on for most of it. But something that really stood out to me was this moment where I heard an insanely clear noise piercing through the room. Really deep and strange, like a motor engine or something. And the camera panned round to the stage, and I saw the noise was being made by a guy with a microphone.
Oh, here we go. What the fuck?
This was my first time hearing Flirta D. It's 2019 now, and 10 years down the line, I can safely say I've never come across a vocal lyricist like him since.
Oh, I'm fucking pumped.
This video is going to be a whole hour of me running my mouth about my favourite grime MC, Flirta D.
Let's go,
Prepare
baby.
yourselves.
Hell yeah. What the fuck? He does the noises as he's Oh my god, now I see why you got. Yep. Get the fuck.
And I move with yo, I invented warp speed. They wanna know about warp speed. What they know about warp speed. And I move with warp so I invented warp speed.
That was fucking dope. Now I see why you guys wanted me to react. Oh my, I'm gonna lose my shit. I already did. Shit! From the shadows of
At a
So
glance,
Solid Crew.
grime might seem like it's the UK's answer to US rap, but that's only true in an extremely general sense. In
Word.
the UK, we have hip-hop, we have boom bap, we have drill.
You
Our
damn
own
right.
British counterparts to all the variations of rap which come out of the US. And grime has always been very separate from all of those, in its own little wheelhouse. Whilst rap is a massive sprawling umbrella genre with many styles, tempos and formats, grime is a very self-contained and tightly knit sound. And most of its origins can be traced back to a singular homegrown genre which my country will always have a very special place for in its heart.
Hey, trust me, we gotta strap up some of the. Hey, Axel took the words out of my mouth. She
I was gonna say it's garage. Garage. Get it right, Jeff.
A-H-A-A, ganja aka hey.
If you check in with any of the grime MCs who sprung up in the early 2000s, you'll find a common heritage of listening to golden era garage collectives like So Solid, Heartless Crew, and Pay As You Go Cartel. What these garage collectives were doing really laid the foundations for grime, with sparsely populated bass-heavy instrumentals and an MCing culture which revolved around playing sets on pirate radio.
Alright, that's nice. Run that. What them say?
Jesse, baby. God's gift.
And I'm stunning. When I start gunning, better start running. If you don't run, you're gonna get fun.
When grime MCs then started jumping on the airwaves, it was like an evolution of the garage sound. But they also brought a massive paradigm shift with them, with the bars and beats becoming more aggressive and off-kilter, and a much bigger presence of MCs on the sets. Being surrounded by loads of other people waiting for a turn on the mic, grime MCs got used to having short bursts of time to spray their bars, which had an effect on the way they wrote lyrics. Unlike rappers writing for mixtapes, grime MCs were writing bars to be heard without context over random beats, which needed to have an immediate impact with listeners. This is why in grime we quickly saw a big appetite for experimentation with stylistic techniques, from quirky intonation to exaggerated accents and unusual rhythmic vocal patterns.
It's fucking D-double. Yes! Hell yeah!
Well, on the back of the mind diversion, competition combination, in the kind of situation, beat them up like aviation.
The way I always think about what makes a good grime MC is not how poetic or introspective they can be with their lyrics, but rather how well they can channel vocal rhythms and hooks to best capitalize on the energy of the beats. Another thing to understand about pirate radio,
Word, man.
which is hard to
I gotta hear that again. Just
capitalize on the energy of the beats.
capitalize on the energy of the beat. That's nice, man.
Another thing to understand about pirate radio, which is hard to imagine nowadays, is that the people listening back in the early 2000s had no idea what the MCs actually looked like. There were no grime music videos, no artist accounts on social media. The only way MCs could distinguish themselves and stick in listeners' minds
their
was to have
voice.
a particularly unique voice.
That's fucking cool, man. That is awesome, because that is the whole origin of fucking hip-hop, man. Back in the day, you couldn't come out sounding the exact same. You had to be different. Oh, come on. Even more respect to grime scene, man.
Something about their flow that made
That's
them stand
awesome.
out. And when Flirta D started showing up on radio sets,
I bet it stood out.
it
Hell
really
yeah.
stood out.
What the fuck? What the hell was that? Word, baby, let's go.
Flirta D is Grime's most genius oddball who made vocal sound effects the foundation of his lyrical style. The immediate feeling you get when you hear him spray for the first time is honestly one of pure confusion. Where other MCs spit lyrics, Flirta D uses all kinds of weird noises and voice affectations which he takes from adverts, cartoons and video games and arranges them into patterns which he can flow over 32-bar loops.
Get back. Tell them boys they better get back. Tell them girls they better get back. They don't want to get started.
Even in grime, where we're used to hearing exaggerated intonations and flows, Flirta D's style it's out there.
I yeah, it's Mr. I yeah. I'm the guy that says I yeah. I'm the guy that says I yeah. I'm Mr. I. I'm Mr. I yeah. I'm the guy. Skip flow.
That's
The
fucking
way that
dope,
Flirta D
man.
MCs can often come across as something he's playing for laughs, some kind of grime performance satire. But he's been MCing like this for the best part of 20 years. Since grime has been a thing, Flirta D has been being Flirta D, and over the course of his career, he's earned a level of status in the scene which is reserved only for the most accomplished and respected of veteran MCs. Now, as it happens, Flirta D was not the first MC to use sound effects. Far from it. Sound effects have always been a part of UK MCing. Back in the 90s in the UK, we had this...
Question for you guys.
Now, as it...
Who's the guy on the top? Who's this guy here? I know he looks fucking familiar, man. Oh, his name is right on the tip of my fucking tongue, man. Is that Skibbity? Nah, I don't think it is him. I don't know, I could be right. I don't know. Let's go.
Happens, Flirta D was not the first MC to use sound effects. Far from it. Sound effects have always been a part of UK MCing. Back in the 90s in the UK, we had this massive jungle tune called Incredible, and General Levy blended high-pitched squeaks into his bars over that.
Word, man.
A pretty iconic sound.
That was the song he was doing yesterday? No fucking way, man. That is cool. Even cooler that I got to see it fucking live, man. No way. Sick. That's fucking dope. And I love this guy, man. Having a good time.
The sound effects tradition also carried over into UK garage, with MCs like MC Dollars working loads of rhythmic phrases into his verses. And you will hear plenty of sound effects in grime outside of Flirta D. It's become something of a staple of the genre for MCs to have a signature noise or phrase which they'll use as a tag to identify.
Who is this dude? Fuck, I know I've seen it. Is that fucking Fiasco? I could be wrong, but it kind of looks like him.
Staple of the genre for MCs to
Nah, that's not him. I'm way off.
have a signature noise or phrase which they'll use as a tag to identify themselves when they jump on a beat.
Hell yeah! Oh, is that him? Oh, Jesus. Oh, Tempatigi, man.
Sound effects have always been a part of UK MCing, to some extent. But Flirta D took them to a next level which people didn't see coming.
I don't know, bruv. Just thought something outside the box because everyone was spitting like that. I thought, man, has to change it, bruv. You know, like, I don't know, I just taught myself how to do different things. Like, first it was just like a 1-2 sound, like, oh, okay, or something, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just throw it in. But on beat, though, no one was really throwing sounds on beat in it, so I thought, let me make that my thing, innit?
For those of you who haven't yet had the surreal pleasure of listening to Flirta D on radio sets, I prepared a short educational video which is going to take you through his signature techniques
Let's
and
go.
his best noises.
Yes,
Lyrical trills, a technique in which Flirta drills... Oh my god, learn how to read, Jeff. Drills word syllables into fast-paced rhythms. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Everybody dance. I run up in the dark side. I run up in the dark side. Feeling the sound and get down with it. Everybody dance. Run up in the dark side. I run up in the dark
What the fuck?
Feeling the sound and get down with it.
Holy fuck.
When I come through, everyone knows the face when I come through. Everyone knows the face when I come through. Everyone knows the face when I come through.
Oh my fucking Jesus, that is insane, man.
Jesus.
Word, Jesus.
Mental mode.
Uh-huh.
Big up the crew there.
In his throat.
And we're rolling.
Step back over me, I'm going I'm the living leaf for us, infrared laser is rock, got 2 hours and all the smoke, 5 resurrect, 9%, real not fake, skeleton break, off skeleton, started to sink, you from my living thing, you know.
Dude, he's his own dubstep. What the fuck, man? That is the coolest shit ever.
Drive by, drive by, drive by, somebody. Where did it there on the avenue?
That's insane, man. Vocal stabs intimidating the samplers.
Still got vibes, you we got vibes to them, so pay attention, cause it's watching it up. Vibes, you we got vibes to her, but if you don't like me, get out of. Vibes, you we got vibes to them, so pay attention, cause it's watching it up. Vibes, you we got vibes to her, but if you don't like us, get out of.
He does this with his own voice.
Champagne and flute, you wanna spend the night, yo. Here we go, a good line of coach, you wanna spend the night, yo.
What the
Those like it's no
fuck?
joke, you wanna spend the night, yo, yo. Give it a Facebook poke, woo.
That's amazing, dude.
Even that yo over there. Back to me, you know I kill the beat, I bring it back to life. Cyan and Flirta D, we bring it back to life. Back to me, you know I kill a beat, I bring it back to life. Cyan and Flirta D, we bring it back to reality.
Come on, with the same tone and everything, dude. Fight what? Get! No!
Get ready, tell your piece to better get ready for it. Tell your moderator to get ready for it. The next battle, couldn't really care about the next battle. Cause whoever I battle, we got this shit.
Oh, come on.
Come here, this shit. Fatality. Taking your voice for voice, I fatality. Sonic boom, smoking on Sonic boom, smoking on Sonic.
I literally eat the Sonic Boom. Oh my fuck.
Boom, I'm gonna turn this club to a Sonic boom. Look, Sonic boom. Yeah, I'm smoking Sonic boom. It's the loudest in the room. Guaranteed the in the. Come again. I'll be smoking a Sonic boom. I'll be smoking a
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'll be smoking that yoga fire. I'll be smoking that yoga flame. I'll be smoking that gush quick. I'll be smoking that come here.
That is insane. He's not done yet? Hello, Chris voice imitating me.
Born in November, I'm a scorpion. Born in November, I'm a Scorpio.
Dude, he sounds just like them.
I'm a scorpion. Don't be a foolish mortal. Tell your moderator to get ready for the next battle. Don't really care about the next battle. Whoever I battle, we got this shit cannon. Gotcha, sucker. Sure, and if it sound like gotcha, what you gonna do when I gotcha? Ooh, gotcha, sucker. For sure, and if it sound like sucker, mom didn't raise no sucker, but I'll turn your wife into a sucker. Gotcha, sucker. I saw the backwards,
He did his own backwards shit. Are you what? Get the fuck out of here.
Gotcha.
Even the guys in the back got twisted off that one. Yeah. What the hell, man?
Get back. Tell them boys they better get back. Tell them girls they better get skip back. Get backwards flow. I already know about the backwards flow. I ain't never been an actor though. No, I ain't never been an actor. I would be skip backwards flow. I already know about the backwards flow, but they know about the backwards flow. I ain't never been an actor though. Might see me in a trap hat backwards though. Let's skip backwards flow, but they know about the backwards flow. Yeah.
That shit is insane. The backwards flow in the fucking throat thing he did. Jesus. Oh, for God's sakes.
Everywhere I go, hear my flow, and I'm like, no.
I see what you mean, baby. I don't know how to describe that either.
I literally can't tell you how many hours I've spent watching Flirta D's sets and how much fun I get out of them. Flirta D's carefree demeanor makes all these intonations and vocal techniques.
That's what it is, man. Man, it's just carefree. Like, he don't give up. He just having fun.
Stupidly easy, but this belies the technical ability that's actually required to do them.
Oh my God.
When you're MCing over grime, there's a lot to get your head around. Sequences to be memorized, word stresses that you've got to hit on beat, and you've also got to string each and every bar together in a way which sounds logical and fluid.
Word.
This isn't easy to start off with, but Flirta D then makes the task monumentally harder for himself by feeding all these different voices and pitches into every section of the bars.
That throat thing is nuts.
This is an enormous strain on your vocal cords to be flicking back and forth between screaming high octaves and spitting low ones. But Flirta makes it all look like the most natural thing ever. Some of the sounds that he makes will be difficult even at half speed, but he blasts through them like they're nothing.
When I control,
However, the biggest
That's
value
nuts,
that
man.
Flirta brings to radio sets, in my mind, is something which goes beyond technical ability or inventiveness. It's about how he creates a mood. Grime ciphers can at times seem kind of stale and repetitive, with a room full of MCs all spraying bars which revolve around talking the hardest, and they have a tendency.
Who's that young guy? Was that
A room full of MCs.
Who is that? God, that guy looks familiar.
All spraying bars which revolve around talking the hardest,
Who is
and they have a tendency of taking themselves
There's Stormzy there.
quite seriously. The very last thing you expect to see in this environment is a smiley dude with a mustache bursting through the door like, Flirty's chirpy style, which sees him imitating ladies' voices, pastiching cheesy garage vocals, and monologuing in different accents, puts him completely at odds with the stoicism we're used to seeing from grime MCs. But it's this willful disregard of expectations that creates a refreshing and uplifting mood when he's on the mic.
Yep.
Flirta's unique style gives him license to delve into a
Hear him say that again?
refreshing and uplifting mood when he's on the mic. Flirta's unique regard of expectations that
That's
creates
what it was there.
we're
Hold on.
used to seeing from grime MCs. But it's this willful disregard of expectations.
Willful disregard of expectations. That's fucking beautiful, man. Hell yes. God damn, man. That's amazing. I love that. Because he very easily could have tried to conform and I guess this is what everybody's doing, so I'm gonna do this. But no, he even said it himself. Nobody's making noises on beats. Oh my god, I love people like that, man. The thinkers that just change the game and they don't they don't care if people don't like it. They strictly do it just because they like to do it, man. It's fucking awesome.
That creates a refreshing and uplifting mood when he's on the mic. Flirta's unique style gives him license to delve into a more playful and happy-go-lucky side of grime, which we don't often get to see. The thing which is remarkable is that however seemingly outlandish Flirta's MCing style already is, he seems dedicated to pushing it further and further on every set. Almost like he's testing the extent to which other MCs in the room and listeners are willing to go along with him in this kind of bizarre experiment he's thinking up live on the spot as he goes along.
everyone knows the name when I say
The thing that I really love about this is that it creates a dynamic where the playfulness of Flirta's lyricism starts to rub off on the other MCs. We see these incredibly authentic moments where everyone in the room breaks out in smiles and laughter from hearing something they didn't expect to hear. For me,
Fuck yeah,
these moments
baby.
of authenticity, where MCs literally get shocked and excited about bars that have come out of nowhere and are sick, this is what grime is all about.
Damn right,
Flirta
baby.
has a way of cutting through everyone's pretenses with his fun bars and creativity, and in doing so, he creates an infectious atmosphere on a set, which really is a joy to watch. I'd say that this is Flirta's main appeal as an MC, that he defies people's expectations of grime lyricism in a really good way. And this is why my initial morbid curiosity from first hearing Flirta evolved into fully fledged fanboyism afterwards.
I can see why, man. This fucking.
But
dope.
how did Flirta D come to prominence? Or perhaps a better way of phrasing that is, where did he come from?
Where do we come from? North Weezy. How do we make money? Real easy. Yo, that's sleazy. From North Weezy.
London is the city that played host to the foundational events of grime, from the pirate radio sessions to the hangouts in Jammer's basement to the ciphers we see recorded in public spots. Most grime MCs who are making music would operate within their own specific area of the city, and one area in particular, Bow E3 in East, became a de facto cultural epicenter of the movement. Bow E3 was the place where Wiley formed the Roll Deep crew, now the most renowned grime collective of all time.
Cool.
It's impossible to understate the monumental role that Wiley played in everything that was going on in those early years. His presence in East London meant that the area became a hub for churning out talent like Dizzy Rascal, Kano, and youngers like Tinchy Strider and Chipmunk. On the other hand, those MCs who weren't from East were outside of Wiley's orbit and therefore didn't have the same leg up. Flirta D was from Northwest, or North Wheezy as we commonly hear it being referred to in grime
Okay.
tunes, an area separated from East London by a distance of 20 miles. But as far as the grime scene was concerned, it was a completely different world. Flirt started out making collaborative tunes with MCs from East who had teeth in the game like Crazy Titch and Mr. Wong, which put him in good company. but he may never have landed on the map as a solo artist had it not been for one iconic tune with a skippy garage beat that set the scene on fire for a hot minute.
Crazy Titch is the name that I keep hearing. Should I check him out? Is he the one that passed away? I think I'm mixing up him with somebody else, but I'm not sure.
Had it not been for one iconic tune with a skippy garage beat that set the scene on fire for a hot minute. And that tune was Warp Speed.
That's insane, man. If I just put myself in like the place of hearing that for the first time, dude. What the fuck? What a way to come onto the scene, man. What a way.
What was your reaction when he dropped this then?
Madness, but everyone was soaking it up.
Word!
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Going up in the
Everywhere,
raves.
like, yeah, from like north, south, east, west, everywhere basically. Put me on like, to let people know, yeah, boom, I'm Flirta D, this is what I do, sort of thing, yeah.
After Warp Speed, Flirta became a rising star in his own right, and following the footsteps of the garage collectives he'd been listening to growing up, Flubs created a collective of MCs from his ends in Northwest who had their own ethos and sound. SLK were the de facto Northwest answer to Roll Deep. The roster included heavy hitters like Shizzle, Nappa, Van Damage, Scrapster, J-Money, Ribs, and a personal favourite for me, Suavo. I don't feel like I can mention Suave's name
I feel embarrassed that I don't know any of those guys.
without running this tune he did called Forearm, which is just... It's a crazy tune.
Baby.
The tunes that SLK put out between 2004 and 2006 have gone down in grime history as some of the biggest road anthems the genre has ever seen. Tunes like Hype Hype
Oh, this sounds dope.
The chorus of this tune is made almost entirely of Flirta D's fighter sound effects, and there's also this objectively hilarious bar where Flirts imitates an exchange where he chats to a girl, voicing both himself and the girl he's trying to chirp.
When I seen the chick and I was like, oh yeah, you got it. She was like, yeah. And I was like, hey, I'm dirty blood. Don't you know?
I know,
I but the race. Don't you know?
I know.
Then I'll put you in a...
Another tune that popped off, and I guess was more significant for putting Northwest on the map, is North Wheezy.
Where do we come from? North Wheezy. How do we make money? Real easy. How do we hit girls? That's sleazy.
And of course, there's never been a grime tune that goes in more than the legendary 3 minutes of pulse that is Pull Up That.
W-A. Forward, pull up that forward. Pull up that forward. Pull up that forward.
SLK made massive waves in the scene with these tunes, and Flirta's verses on them are iconic. But I don't think anyone would deny that it was in the rave that Flirta was truly unstoppable.
That is nuts, man. I can't get over that.
I know you gon' dig this.
Wait a minute. Is that where Charlie Sloth got it from originally? No. Yes, it probably is. Get the fuck out of here. That. Oh my god.
I know you gon' dig this.
Oh yeah.
With his ability to make sounds that no one else could, and his pitch-perfect delivery of memorable bars, seeing Flirta D live on the mic was always something else. There's a whole catalogue of live appearances by Flirta that people still talk about to this day. One of them with an interesting backstory was in October 2005, when Skepta and a load of MCs from East were in Iron Napa playing a show, at the same time as Flirta's crew. A casual rivalry had been building up between the MCs from West and East in the run-up to the show. Skepta had called out one of the members of SLK, Van Damage, just days before the event, and this all came on the heels of Flirta D having a war dub with Kano, another MC from East.
Damn.
You write, you're a king, you don't write words, I should buy you a pen. I'll put you one-sided again, cause you're roaring like a lion again. You're roaring the K8, and if you say K can't flow, then you're lying again. Let me
Oh,
finish this,
come
he's
on, man.
back to smiling again.
Volcano, I will piss on your property. Fuck your chick, I won't kiss on your property. That's a diss on your property. Get some crackheads, the shit on your property. This, that's my property. Can you do that's my property. Fly do that's my property. You can't do it properly.
Following
Damn,
these rounds
man.
of beef between West and East, Skepta and his boys from BBK were playing their set in Iron Napa, when suddenly... Flirta D rushes the stage. It's probably worth me taking a bit of time to talk about Reload.
That took me a second to get, man. I didn't realize what happened there. Holy, he just what? I gotta see that again.
Skepta and his boys from BBK were playing their set in Iron Napa when suddenly
Are you kidding me, man?
Flirta D rushes the stage.
Wow.
It's probably worth me taking a bit of time to talk about Reloads.
Ooh, what is this?
The essential idea behind a reload is that if people are enjoying a tune, it gets reloaded or rewound and played again
The wheel up.
so that they can experience the drop one more time. This started way back with dub and reggae music in Jamaica, when selectors would let the whole tune play and then press play on it again at the end. But nowadays,
That's cool. I did not know that. That originated in Jamaica. That is fucking dope. I love finding out little pieces of information like that. It's fucking awesome.
reloads work real differently. The DJ drops a heater, everyone in the crowd starts losing their shit and
Oh wait, did he just say wheel ups work differently? My bad, my bad.
real differently, and then press play on it again at the end. But nowadays, reloads work real differently. The DJ drops a heater, everyone in the crowd starts losing their shit and harassing the DJ in a furious rage, thus bullying the DJ to wheel back the deck, and when the DJ does it, everyone's like,
That's funny.
when there's MCs on the set, the reloads work differently. Instead of reloading hard tunes, the DJ wheels back the deck when he hears hard bars.
Yes. Okay.
When MCs are on a set, they're always trying to get a reload. More reload equals more clout. The reason why I'm explaining this is just so
No, thank you for explaining it. That's fucking dope. Cool, I did not know that. Huh. Because I've only seen them do that in Fire in the Booth, so, you know, it's neat to find out, to learn how it all originated and why he does that in Fire in the Booth. Cool, let's go.
more reload equals more clout. The reason why I'm explaining this is just so you can appreciate how hilarious it was for Flirts to get a reload after uninvitedly running on stage and then start doing a funny little dance. Next
Oh
thing
my
you know,
God.
Flubs and Skepta start having a little clash.
Right, let's work now. Okay, I got a picky afro. Told you before. Boy, Bano. Random bitch ain't got one good flow. Make it try too hard, but no. You look like a homo. Shit's MC in SOK. And if I was further, I would kick you out. I ain't taking my jewels off. Can't be me, you're making a fool off. Look at that tool off. You blow before you back cool off. You off in the shop, it's tool in the toolbox. Leaving a fool in a fool box. For fooling
And that's
around.
it, yeah. Perp. Nah, Skep, it's good though, it's good.
Me and Skeppy done our little thing and then flipping Shiesty was there with Wiley.
Damn, man.
Scraps was
Scraps
there.
was there,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
mine was showing my look. It's like, it's not just the, obviously, at one stage in Grime was just about East London, innit? Mine was
Yeah.
just, that's why that was another reason we went there as well, to show like, look, it's like Northwest man as well. Like we do this thing as well. We shut down things, bro.
Yeah.
And then obviously you heard the footage. Like,
Yeah, man.
let's shut down, bro.
Flirta D really came into his own on live sets. His unpredictability and quirkiness made him a one-of-a-kind MC to watch, and he could send crowds into a frenzy with the signature sounds he made.
It makes me fucking smile every time he does that.
Even now, over 10 years later, seeing Flubs' old rave vids still feels kinda special. With North Wheezy firmly on the map, SLK churning out era-defining hits, and the hardest of hard rave bars, by 2006, Flirt had secured his place as one of the grime scene's quirkiest heroes. At that time, the grime movement felt like a surging tidal wave, unstoppable and always reaching greater heights. It would have been difficult for anyone to predict the fall that was waiting for it just round the corner. All genres have a limited lifespan. When a style gets saturated and certain sounds are being reused over and over again, people are inevitably going to want to move on to something fresh. So it's natural for genres to fall out of favour after a certain amount of time. 90s rave music fell off, jungle fell off, two-step fell off, so this fate was always going to befall grime at some point. However, grime faced its own very unique challenge. The areas which fostered the talent of the grime scene had high levels of poverty, poor opportunities for education, and high levels of crime, all of which had an effect on the kinds of messages you could expect to hear in the music.
You could come out and because you look like your brother, you could just get battered or stabbed up. Or you could go Stratford to buy trainers and get battered or stabbed up or gassed or kidnapped or anything.
We've all grown up with a negative attitude forever. Like, we've just had a negative attitude. You get arrested, you get what I'm saying? All that builds up and it makes you feel angry and cold hearted inside. You just think, fuck everyone now.
People ain't saying, yeah, it's a good thing, everybody do it. That's just what they've been through.
Grime was becoming a very in-demand genre, earning acclaim from music critics and a growing base of listeners. But not all the attention it was receiving was positive. As grime became more visible in the public eye, Middle Englanders were shocked and worried by the messages in the lyrics. The situation was exacerbated in the mid-2000s, when a handful of high-profile events occurred involving grime artists that were widely reported in the media. Dizzy got stabbed in Ayia Napa in 2003, and Crazy Titch was sent down for murder in 2005 after shooting a rival in cold blood.
Oh, damn. So no, he not dead. Okay.
2003, and Crazy Titch was sent down for murder in 2005 after shooting a rival in cold blood.
That's right.
Although it was hard to prove a relation of causality between grime music and these violent crimes, they had the effect of confirming people's preconceptions about the inherent danger of the genre. An almost identical debate, in fact, to the one we've been having more recently in the UK surrounding drill music. In 2005, it was mandated that all promoters putting on music nights in London had to fill out an official piece of documentation called Risk Assessment Form 696 in order to be granted a license. The form asked, amongst other things, details of the performers, a description of the types of music which would be played, and perhaps most contentiously of all, the ethnicity of the target audience who would be attending.
Again, I think one needs to be careful with this, because it would be true to say that they did take out the question. They specifically asked, are there any ethnic minorities attending this event? They have, however, replaced it with one which says, what is the target audience of this event? And I think, might I be in safe ground to assume that white middle-class professionals from North London is not the answer they're looking for?
Following the implementation of this form, grime nights could effectively be wiped off the map without the authorities necessarily needing to provide any sort of justification. Now, grime MCs were still out there doing their thing, recording tracks and releasing cypher videos and freestyles, but the unique appeal of grime as a genre had always been in the raw energy of its live performances, whether this was on pirate radio sets or in club venues. Logan Sama is a grime DJ at the forefront of the scene and has spoken incisively about the problems grime faced in the late 2000s on a few different occasions.
I haven't had loads of shows shut down with Form 696, but it doesn't take loads of shows being shut down for it to be a huge thing, because when one or two large events that have had a lot of money spent on them get closed down, everyone else sees it and it just has like a subconscious thing, like it's not worth my while risking investing in putting on a show like this. I may as well put on a house rave that I'll always be able to do, move into other genres of music. At some point, people didn't want to do grime anymore. That's either because they felt like there wasn't going to be anything in it for them, they felt like they weren't getting anywhere, or maybe they just got more excited by hip-hop than grime. And all those things are fair enough, because when you look at what makes grime exciting, spitting live on sets, spitting on pirate radio, going to the raves and getting reloads in the rave, all of those things got taken away from us because we weren't allowed to put events on anymore. Pirate stations started to get closed, and new ones weren't popping up to fill their place. And it became very difficult.
Around 2007, grime entered into a new, strange and confusing era. A select handful of MCs ended up being signed to major labels and putting out tunes that got into the mainstream charts. But the tracks they were releasing were worlds apart from the beats they'd been spitting over on pirate radio. Dizzy Rascal, now a fully fledged international music star, was dancing with Calvin Harris. Tinchy Strider was having a #1 with N-Dubs. And Skepta's attempt at a pop career was so weird that everyone seems to have wiped it from their memories, and we all now pretend it never happened.
Oh, man.
It was becoming apparent that
funny.
the fact that grime MCs were getting signed didn't mean the major labels were interested in grime music. Grime MCs getting in the charts seemed to be conditional on them selling clean commercial music. Now, that's not to say there weren't some quality grime releases to listen to during the late 2000s. On the contrary, some releases during these years became modern classics of the genre. Tunes like Next Hype by Temper T.
What kind of things that you have? When I find out, don't expect me to stop. I'll come for the peas that you stack and come for all the food that you block.
Additionally, one of the rare but beautiful silver linings to grime falling out of favour was seeing some of the MCs crossing over into dubstep and making heat with producers who they might otherwise never have collaborated with. Newham Generals put out the legendary Club Roller Hard with D&B producer Breakage.
I'm that lyrical father. Name an MC that spits harder. Me and my partner. Cause me and my partner.
And Flowdown and Killer P teamed up with the illustrious dubstep producer The Bug to drop the unforgettable cult classic tune Skeng.
I just heard about Flowdown yesterday.
This one dedicated to all hard man. Whether you're from Manchester or London, whether you're from North London or Brixton, put up on the hand, phenomenon too.
I also think it's worth mentioning that there were a fair amount of independent music labels supporting grime throughout this period, like Planet
Dirty
New,
Goods.
Capsize, and Key Sound. All of them releasing quality grime EPs from top-tier producers like Joker, Terror Danger, MRK1, and Starkey. However, generally, this was a very difficult time to be a grime artist, and all MCs felt the pinch. SLK had some real commercial success in 2005 with the tune Hype Hype, but their sudden explosion in popularity had caused internal tensions. The two MCs featured on Hype Hype, Flirta and Van Damage, started getting attention and bookings, whilst the other members of SLK lingered in relative obscurity. This dynamic eventually led to the group disbanding, with some of the members forming a new collective, Gully Gang. By 2007, SLK was no more, and Flirta D had lost his record deal. Throughout this period, Flirta went the way of a lot of struggling grime MCs, trying to forge a new career through alternative genres, but never quite managing to make anything stick. We see him in vids spitting over UK hip-hop and bassline tracks, but these styles didn't land in the same way his old stuff had. For an MC like Flirta D, the disappearance of grime raves was a monumental loss. His off-the-wall noises and eccentric delivery had been perfectly engineered for those live performances, but now there were no opportunities for him to do any of that stuff. All the things that previously made him stand out had lost their potency. Unlike Dizzy, Tiny, Skepta and Tinchy, Flirta was a wild card whose style couldn't really be watered down or adapted for mainstream audiences, so a lot of doors that were opened in this new era to other MCs were completely closed off to him. Watching an interview which Flirta did in 2009, you can sense a real feeling of frustration with everything that was going on.
What happened with SOK? You said it was dead. What's going on with that?
It's just, it died, innit? Like, everyone's like, just moved on, innit? Everyone's all grown now, innit? I don't know. Certain people got lazy, innit? Really, like, so that just stopped quickly, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've done Hype Hype, done our PAs, done stuff, and then boom, like, obviously I had more material than the rest of the team, innit? So I was trying to push myself at the same time, innit? But it didn't really work out that way. We're doing stuff now, you get me? So it's like, hopefully that blows for the future, you get me?
There was a growing feeling amongst grime fans that Flirta D's best years, like those of many other grime MCs, were long gone, fading fast with the waning popularity of the genre. There wasn't really a place for Flirta D in the new space grime seemed to be occupying. For a long while, it seemed that the grime scene was doomed to remain like this, falling further and further from the dizzying heights of bygone years. But genres never really die. All it takes is the right spark to light them up again.
Alright, man. We are gonna pause this right here if that's cool. So far, I am fucking loving this, man. This is incredible. Oh my fuck. I'm just loving it because I've said before, like, I like watching documentaries. I'm a big documentary dude. It's how, I don't know, it's pretty much how I learn shit. So to be able to do this, man, and get almost a complete history on one dude, to see his career from literally, I'm going to see the finish, but to see it from the start, how it rose up, and how also the guy doing this documentary, shout out to this dude, who? Timba on Toast, whatever the fuck that is. What's up, buddy? But dude, the way you're also you're not just talking about him and his career, you're also talking about him and his career relating to the grime scene and other genres that are popping off and how it affected him, and just, it's way more information than I thought was going to be in it, and for me, it's fucking spectacular. I think it's fucking awesome, man. I love to learn, like I said, so having this, man, it's freaking awesome. So, I'm going to go heat this up. I'm going to fill up my vape and just do that, give a stretch, because, you know, at 30, I can't sit here for too long. I get sore and stiff. But anyway, I fucking love you guys, man, and I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Peace out, y'all.